There will be spoilers ahead for Black Mirror seasons 1 through 4. Today, I will be your tour guide, showing you every single Easter egg and episode connection in Black Mirror Season 4. I will also be pointing out some of my favorite details and other references along the way. So with that said, let's begin the tour, starting with USS Callister. Nanette Cole picks up a distress signal from the surface of Scalane 4, a planet named after Victoria Scalane from the episode White Bear. Valdak's hideout is on the planet Rennick B, named after Victoria Scalane's boyfriend Ian Rennick. When Robert Daly takes the elevator up to Callister Inc., you can hear that Callister is located on the 13th floor, in reference to the film The 13th Floor, a film that's centered around virtual reality. When Elena is at the front desk of Callister Inc., she is using the same dating app Amy and Frank use in the episode Hang the DJ. Later in the episode, Robert opens his fridge to grab a milk carton from the brand Raymond's Milk. This brand is named after Raymond from Men Against Fire, most likely because of her nickname Farm Girl. Kirsten Dunst makes a very brief cameo in USS Callister. When Walton introduces Cole to her coworkers, Dunst quickly walks through the shot. And I know what most of you may be thinking, why is she in this episode for like a second? 2.3 seconds to be exact. Well, it turns out Dunst is engaged to Jesse Plemons, who plays Robert Daly. Dunst was visiting Plemons on set the day they were filming that scene, and was asked last minute if she wanted to walk through the background. So her cameo was completely unplanned and random and amazing. And if you thought that was the only cameo in USS Callister, well, you are tragically mistaken. Michaela Cole, who plays Shania, also plays the mean airport stewardess in the episode Nosedive. At the end of the episode, Aaron Paul makes a voice cameo as Gamer691, also known as the King of Space. USS Callister is meant to pay homage to Star Trek, the original series. The way Robert Daly speaks when inside Infinity is resembling the way William Shatner speaks when playing Captain Kirk. When Cole refuses to play along with Daly's fantasy, Daly removes all of Cole's facial features, causing her to start suffocating. This is a reference to Star Trek Season 1, Episode 2, Charlie X. In that episode, the Enterprise brings on board a teenage boy named Charlie Evans, who possesses godlike powers and can pretty much do whatever he wants. Towards the end of the episode, Charlie starts turning people into lizards, freezing people in time, and rapidly aging people. During this spree, Charlie comes across some of the crew laughing and having a good time. So Charlie, who is having none of it, uses his powers to silence them. And one woman gets her face completely erased, just like Cole. The way Daly kisses Shania and Elena is similar to the famous kiss between Kirk and Uhura, also known as the first interracial kiss on American television. The design of the spaceship USS Callister and the uniforms of the crew are inspired by Star Trek, the original series. When Cole and the crew go through the wormhole, the update changes the designs of the uniforms as well as the ship's interior to a more modern look. With the newly added anamorphic lens flare, the update closely resembles the look of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. The next stop is Arkangel. At the beginning of Arkangel, Marie takes Sarah to the playground. If you look at the bottom of Sarah's stroller, you can see a Waldo lunchbox, a reference to how Waldo became a global political entertainment product in the Waldo moments. Later in the episode, Marie is shown the parental controls of Arkangel. Every time Sarah's cortisol levels begin to rise, the filter content limitations will blur whatever's causing her stress. The video Arkangel uses to demonstrate this blur feature is of Raymond firing her weapon in Men Against Fire. In Marie's kitchen, if you look closely at the fridge, you can see a postcard from San Junipero. Don't worry if you can't see it that well, we'll get a better look at that postcard later in this tour. Also, when looking at the letter magnets on the fridge, the letters B and M are next to each other, which as we all know are the initials of Black Mirror. There's a Harlech Shadow poster hanging in Sarah's room. Harlech Shadow is the video game series made by Saito Gemu from Playtest. Next to that poster is a Tusk poster. Tusk is the rap artist from the episode Hated in the Nation. Let's head over to Crocodile. In Crocodile, there's an accident outside of Mia's hotel involving an automated pizza delivery truck. The pizza delivery truck is owned by Fence's Pizza, the same pizza company that delivers to Robert Daly's apartment in USS Callister. When Mia browses through the adult film section, she scrolls past the film Best of Wraith Babes. Wraith Babes is the show Abby is pressured into joining in 15 Million Merits. During the night of the accident, the song Anyone Who Knows What Love Is by Irma Thomas plays outside of Mia's hotel. Abby performs this song for her audition on the show Hot Shot in 15 Million Merits. Beth sings the song during Karaoke Thursday in White Christmas, and Ray sings it to Parn Heidecker in Men Against Fire. When Shazia tries to find out who is in Mia's hotel room the night of the accident, the man working at the front desk informs Shazia that he can't just tell her who is in there, further explaining that management had been uptight ever since that thing with what's-his-name, the judge from Hot Shots, referring to either Judge Wraith or Judge Hope from the show Hot Shot in 15 Million Merits. Sadly, there are no Easter eggs in Hang the DJ. However, in Hang the DJ, it's revealed that Amy and Frank are digital copies of the real Amy and Frank. In White Christmas, we follow Matthew Trent, who works for the company Smartelligence. He explains that a cookie is a device containing a digital copy of someone's consciousness. Smartelligence takes a blank cookie and surgically implants it into the client's brain. They let it sit under the skin for about a week so it can soak up the way that particular mind works. In Hang the DJ, Frank said the device slurps up all your reactions and builds up a complex profile. Every crazy thought you've ever had, all your dreams and your weaknesses, like everything in your head. With that information, it's safe to assume that the digital versions of Amy and Frank are cookies. No different from the cookies of Potter and Greta from White Christmas. Next up is Metalhead. In Metalhead, Clark has to hack into the van outside of the warehouse. When he connects his device to the van, the screen displays lines of text that start with BM04, as in Black Mirror Season 4. At the top, you can see Callister/60s, in reference to USS Callister and the decade the TV show Space Fleet was filmed in. Below that is Mia Nolan/architecture, in reference to the architect Mia Nolan from Crocodile. And the last line of text has Reddit/Easter egg. When Clark successfully starts up the van, the screen displays a list of every Black Mirror episode in order from seasons 1 through 2. Next to each episode are titles, acronyms, character names, or words that relate to each story. Below that is the question, why did you bother pausing this, you freak? Later in the episode, Bella strategically throws her peppermint candy at the dog to make it run out of battery. The candy Bella uses looks like the same peppermint candy Shazia has in Crocodile. Towards the end of the episode, Bella enters a house looking for car keys. Above the first drawer she opens is a postcard from San Junipero, the same postcard that was on Marie's fridge in Arkangel. See, I said you'd get a better look at that postcard. Metalhead is presented entirely in black and white, so the teddy bear Bella, Clark, and Anthony are trying to retrieve appears to be a white bear, like Jemima Sykes' white teddy bear from the episode White Bear. However, the song Golden Brown by the Stranglers playing at the end of Metalhead is implying that the teddy bears in the warehouse are golden brown. We finally arrive at the last stop of the tour, the episode you all have been waiting for. In terms of Easter eggs, Black Museum is Black Mirror's magnum opus. The series production designer Joel Collins really went all out for this episode. So let's begin. The gas station next to Black Museum is named BRB Connect. BRB is in Be Right Back. The episode Be Right Back started with Martha and Ash outside of a gas station. When Nish first enters the museum, there's a hallway filled with screens displaying images of murderers. The screen on the back wall displays a mugshot of Victoria Spillane from White Bear. That photo dissolves into the text Child Killer. Cloning without consent appears twice, once on the small screen to their right and once on the big screen in the back. Cloning without consent is referring to Robert Daly cloning his coworkers without their consent in USS Callister. There's a mugshot of Lacey Pound from Nosedive that appears on the top row of screens. This hallway Nish and Rollo enter the museum through is inspired by the interior of the mansion from Playtest. As they walk further down the hallway, you can see Yorkie's wedding dress from San Junipero. At the end of the hallway, there's a wall of faces. This wall contains the faces of the crew members of Black Mirror. For example, this face right here belongs to the creator of the series, Charlie Brooker. When Rollo Haynes goes to adjust the thermostat, you can quickly see a mugshot of the series production designer Joe Collins. Also, the name Jay Collins appears on the whiteboard when Haynes first approaches Dawson at St. Juniper's Hospital. Now for the main exhibit, a place that is absolutely covered in Easter eggs. I can't even tell you how long I've looked at this museum. In one of the cabinets in the back, there's the pig from the national anthem. There's a replica of Carlton Bloom, the artist who hung himself in the national anthem. I don't know if I'm allowed to show that here. So here's a nice blurred out photo of that, and here's the timestamps of when it appears on screen. Next to the mugshot of Joe Collins, you can see the interactive augmented reality system from Playtest. In this display, there's a magnified image of the mushroom, the container used to store the mushroom, an X-ray image showing where they insert the mushroom on a test subject, the headset used to start up the system, and the gamepads Cooper uses to play whack-a-mole with. The wipe air symbol is also included. It's hard to read the text on this mugshot, but I've always thought this person looks a lot like Mia Nolan from Crocodile. In another cabinet, there are open pill bottles like the ones laid out for Victoria for when she wakes up in the Wipe Air Justice Park. The clock from White Christmas can be seen in the display that's a recreation of Trent and Potter's cabin. In that display, there's a bunk bed from Men Against Fire. The corpses lying on the bed look like the dead couple from Metalhead. Kelly's wedding dress from San Junipero can be seen next to the scary clown mask. You can also see the bat that one woman swings at Stripe in Men Against Fire. In the center of the exhibit, there's the DNA scanner Robert Daly uses to make cookies of his coworkers. Tommy's lollipop is also on the tray. In the other cases, you can see the broken tablet from Arkangel, an ADI from Hated in the Nation, the same tub Shazia's husband was taking a bath in when Mia killed him in Crocodile, the device Matthew puts his head into in order to access the simulation in White Christmas, and the device that houses the cookie. In the back of the museum, there's a mannequin wearing Baxter's costume and wielding his double-barrel shotgun from Wipe Air. The hospital Rollo Haynes works at is called St. Juniper's. At St. Juniper's, Haynes takes Dawson up to the 10th floor, where TCKR has their own research facility. TCKR is the same company that created San Junipero. When Rollo Haynes shows Dawson his experience— wait a second, why does Dawson look so familiar? Oh, I know why. The actor Daniel Lapine, who plays Dawson, also plays Max, the lawyer who interviewed Liam at the beginning of The Entire History of You. You know, the character who said one of the most confusing sentences ever created. When Rollo Haynes shows Dawson his new experiment, Haynes calls the lab rats Kenny and Hector, named after Kenny and Hector from the episode Shut Up and Dance. When Dawson watches the news report on Denise Stockley, there are 3 very interesting headlines that scroll by at the bottom of the screen. The first one being Sho Saito trial continues. Sho Saito is the creator of the video game company Saito Gameu from Playtest. It looks like Sho Saito is being held accountable for what happened to Cooper, and possibly others. The next headline is Arkangel system pulled from stores, referring to the technology that allows parents to monitor their children in the episode Arkangel. The last headline is Waldo politician makes waves. The episode cuts away before you can see the end of it, but that headline is referring to Waldo becoming a global political entertainment product in the Waldo moments. Later in the episode, Jack is watching a news report on the Stockley murder. At the bottom of the screen, there's the headline former UK PM Callow marries pig, talking about Prime Minister Michael Callow from the national anthem. So it looks like Callow did remarry. During the same news report, there's the headline Autonomous Military Dog Robot Unveiled, referring to the robot dogs from Metalhead. Jack can be seen reading the graphic novel of the episode 15 Million Merits. The page Jack is turned to shows Bing right before he delivers his speech on the show Hotshot. When Rollo Haynes downloads Clayton's consciousness, the device he uses looks a lot like the headpiece Robert Daly uses in USS Callister, and what Kelly and Yorkie use in San Junipero. During Rollo Haynes' time at St. Juniper's, we witnessed the creation of the technology that is used to transfer someone's consciousness. So TCKR most likely named San Junipero after St. Juniper's, because the technology that made San Junipero possible was invented there. Something I've always appreciated about the first and final version of the headpiece is how the lights on the devices have the same kind of loading animation as the intro of Black Mirror. That concludes our tour of Black Mirror Season 4. If you enjoyed this tour, feel free to give it a monkey loves you in the comments below. And if you hated it, feel free to give it a monkey needs a hug. Oh yeah, and subscribe to stay updated on upcoming exhibits. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next tour of Black Mirror.